should know that I had you on my mind. Secret admirer. I've been watching you. Should I swing my way? Sure look good to me. Now would you please swing my way? Should I swing my way?
Hello. This is the Overdose. Everything we couldn't fit in the last show, we do in this show. And in this show, we give a little bit more context to what we talked about when it comes to Dragon Gate because some guys had questions and we answered them. Also, we do a Forbidden Door preview and a little bit of what's frustrating us about All Elite Wrestling. Thank you for listening and get ready for the Overdose. I'm FOOKED, Mr. Hitman.
Was that right?
So okay, so
I don't know if.
so in
Yeah,
so
I
Kikuta
just wanted
turned
to know
heel.
what exactly happened to where
Okay.
he's trying to get back.
So in the
Okay.
first place, Yoshioka lost his hair like before they had like another cage match. He got injured, so he was out. He did a big return last year. He did a big return storyline, and he returned like in this cage match.
No,
where-
that he returned this year.
he returned this year. Oh yeah, he returned
that
this
was-
year, and then
yeah.
they had the lose your mask, lose your hair match, right? And a plus that's cage match. It's an escape cage match. The last one in the cage either loses their hair or their mask. So whatever.
Gotcha.
There's so much things. Kikuta turns on him, so he has shaves them bald again. And if you know, like, whether it's not lucha where like you start over from the bottom, but like the story for Japan. So if you shame the company or you shame yourself, you shave yourself bald because you're starting over again as like you're a loser. This is it. So you have to start over again from the bottom. So when he shaves his head, Kikuta turns on him. The journey is he's losing all these matches, but then him and Dia become a tag team. They start winning. They eventually win the tag titles. And like it's a slow progressive like movement for him on top. Part of that of him being built back up was getting the frog splash, the high fly flow from Tanahashi, who didn't have to do that. Tanahashi basically gave Yuki his endorsement that this is the guy for me. And I think that's important. And that's going to be important for going forward, how he builds. They were talking about earlier how if they do the match and he loses again, how it builds character. I think you said that, Pontiff. It does. It does. Because suffering builds character, right? That's the meme.
That's the meme. That's also true.
Yeah, so he loses again. It sets him back a little bit, but he keeps fighting in the tag teams. He fights like through his way through Z-Brats, and he beats like a Ishin. He gets a victory over one of the veterans, like a Yamato or even a Shun. Like say he beats Shun. And I gotta say this too, just to explain this: the singles tournament in Dragon Gate means nothing. When they have their big singles round robin tournament, it usually means nothing. Because like in
I don't want to say it means nothing, but it's not. It's like a mid-level thing. I think is maybe a better way to put it.
Yeah, it's
It used to be round robin, but in this current era, it's single elimination.
Yeah, it used to be like their version of like say like a King of the Ring. I think that's the most equivalent thing you could say it. But like I don't know, like say like he wins that, and then they build him up, and then actually it's kind of like the Cinderella tournament. That's what their singles tournament is like.
Okay.
And so you have to build him back up from where he's nothing to something. And if he does go after the championship, I do agree that I would rather he win after suffering a loss, because you're also establishing Kikuta as a big bad. Because the win over Shun, the turn on Shun, doesn't establish Kikuta. When you win the Dragon Belt Gate, you have to get like keys on your belt, right? So
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
this defense for Shun was his first defense, so he's a V0 champion. They usually don't do that. Usually, like at least a guy gets like at least 2 or 3 keys on his belt. But this time he lost because they're establishing Kikuta as this dominant force. Even though, like, you know, we were talking about evil all during the whole podcast. Z-Brats does act as House of Torture, but with way better talent. And
Gotcha.
so
And they aren't like they are willing to not go as over the top with it in big matches.
yeah,
With the interference.
Yeah,
And-
Dragon Gate historically, when it comes to interference, like I'm not like cheating is part of the fabric of wrestling to an extent.
Yeah.
And to me, I always think the Dragon system has done it well because it's like the heels get in and out, right?
Yeah.
There's the old, it's the trope of like the heel wrestler will pull the ref over and have his arm around him like he's a used car salesman trying to ask him what it will take to get him in a Buick by the end of today. And then, all the heels run in and they beat up the babyface for a few seconds and then they get out. And it's not like minutes on end like a House of Torture match.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, at least Marty now is stomping on guys and fighting back. But Red Shoes, my God, he might be the worst referee in kayfabe ever.
Yeah.
Guys are.
I hate those spots where
How do you ignore?
it's like,
Takeshita
he's
doing a
turning
vertical
his back
suplex?
around and he refuses to count, and it's like, what is this? This isn't what I want out of my wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't bring up earlier, but like, okay, so him not raising Suji's arm was a shoot.
Yeah, that's another thing we forgot to talk about, eh?
Yeah, we didn't even bring up. I'll bring it up now. You know, like how like Tony Khan sent that thing through Fightful about how he's not a fan of Evil. Like, I don't think he should have said anything at all. But if he was gonna say it, I mean, he has the big squall tweet. Might as well just say not a fan of Evil, and he could have made it in kayfabe. I'm not a fan of the tactics Evil uses.
He wanted to basically say, "Hey, I didn't book this. Like, I was not the one who booked Evil in the G1 final." But I agree. If you're gonna say it, you might as well just say it rather than laundering it through Fightful.
And
here's the thing: I
make it
agree with
kayfabe
Tony,
too.
but he also gave us months of Death Riders. So
Yeah.
Because Moxley was pretty much being proto-evil with all the run-ins,
Yeah, and
the
it
ref
fucking
distractions.
sucked when Mox did it too. Like, it was not great.
It's just like they only had like one fun gimmick weapon, which was like that little plastic briefcase. It would be cool if if everybody had their own gimmick weapon in Death Riders, like like in Power Rangers, how everybody put like their weapons together to make a super gun. I want to see that, but with like a weapon.
Exactly.
It's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of like to like read that from like somebody that runs like the #2 company in the world, $1 billion company, just like, let me tell Fightful this. And I think it's a little jarring, but then like getting all this news about why would you release to the world that a ghetto ghost you? Like, like that's lame. That he ghosts you and ignores you and all that stuff. Like, he's trying to play like what you said. Like, he wants this out there to let it be known that he's not booking the G1. So people coming after him, complaining about the G1, will stop complaining about it, stop tweeting at him. And it's just...
But it's like, it's kind of fucking stupid, and like, you don't need to say anything because like, most people who aren't dumbasses would know that. And the people that are saying, "Oh, Tony Khan's booking the G1," they fucking hate AEW anyway. So like, who cares, man? Just ignore it. Don't be gotten to.
They're all from busted
Look,
open.
Tony has needed to log off for years.
Yeah.
That's honestly his biggest weakness to me, and like I genuinely believe like the pivot to sports entertainment and video packages and every match having to have a story and all of this in AEW, you can pinpoint all of that back to people in bad faith on Twitter and Eric Bischoff and Conan and, you know, name other grifters.
Yeah.
Steven Richards, Vince Russo,
I also think listening to people like MJF and Jericho and people like that, and letting them basically have a significant influence over how things are done.
Yeah, I know we didn't talk AEW for a little bit, but I mean, since I have you guys, what did you guys think about like them kind of like retconning last week's finish ending where
I fucking hated it. That's why I've been so mad all week, Doc. You've seen I haven't said a positive thing about AEW all week. I've been fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because it just made me feel like I've wasted the last 4 weeks of this build. It's just the middle finger. You wasted your time. Fuck you.
Could you imagine? They come off All In, they're winning. Okay, like I know like Numbers was saying it earlier, like they won the Saturday Night War by destroying Saturday Night's main event. And they're coming off of that, okay? And then in SummerSlam, everybody is shitting on SummerSlam. The quality of the show, everybody's talking about how great the TV on AEW is, like the action at least. And then Brock Lesnar returns. And then like the way that AEW has reacted to this, I mean, what Mercedes said about like we don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to what's happening over there, but like you have an opportunity to present a show completely different than what WWE is doing, and you
have the talent to do it.
You just rested on your laurels. You did. Like
you rested on your laurels. You went with the lazy MJF shit. You went with the lazy fucking Edge reunion bullshit, and you have fucking half-assed the Forbidden Door build when you could have put some effort in. You know what they put some effort in? The Hiromu thing. What's the most interesting match to me? The Hiromu and Fletcher match, because they at least kind of tried.
Yeah, just introducing him in a match, having him go over Don Callis' family, and then Fletcher Cutchley's...
I think the cage match will be a good match. It would have been fucking sick if they had put any effort into just having people there to build it.
Why are Ibushi and Kenny Omega not at the building?
Where the fuck are two of my favorite wrestlers ever? I don't know.
I
do know where fucking Adam Copeland is.
If I just watched yesterday, on Wednesday, I would think that it's the Ops, it's Paragon, it's the War Dogs, and all the other guys. That's the match. Yeah. That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I wouldn't be thinking anything about the Golden Lovers, which that's probably, I mean, that's like a name tag team. I said this before. Kenny was
the biggest star in AEW history.
The numbers prove this. Him and Christian was one of the best selling pay-per-view main events. I know people talk about like, oh, it's MJF CM Punk, but like people wanted to see Christian and Omega. They had ratings.
Yes.
It's like, but when we look at it now, and we look at the tag tournament, right? That was a waste of a tag tournament. You're fucking cowards. It's like you couldn't have like FTR just like lose to Brodito. You're gonna just have that
job and put Brodito over.
Yeah, they couldn't just lose. Like even like if say like, and then the reaction that we got like online, MVP of course leaked that the Hurt Syndicate doesn't want to lose to FTR. They didn't say anything about Brodito. So let's look at it, right? So FTR also always has to look strong. They never look weak. They barely lose.
FTR do politic as well, absolutely.
And people kind of ignore that point because they have good matches. They do. But like
Still not as good as the Bucks, but yeah.
Yeah, and like you could tell that they always politic for this spot, and it's like it's annoying. It's like I like that they're heels now because they're natural heels. You boo them, they cheat, they have the look of heels. They got Stokely, but like, why would you build that act to go up against Hurt Syndicate? Like, there's no heat there. That's two heels going up against each other, where one heel act is always going to be cheered with their song. But I feel like they're kind of going to, like, if Brodito wins, right, it's going to be a schmoz. The people were making jokes like, what if they do the thing where Hurt Syndicate gets DQ'd for kicking too much ass? Yeah. There was that thing. Like, you could see that, right? They have, like, Shelton has Brodito in a corner. Lashley has FTR. They're beating him up. And then I'm going to just, like, whatever ref, like, Rich Knox says, okay, you guys are DQ'd. Oh, my God, Taz, they're DQ'd. Oh, no, Taz is not there. I don't know who's going to do the commentary, but they're going to say, like, oh, yeah, they got DQ'd. Who's going to be the new champion? We're guaranteed a new champion.
Or
Nigel, who's the new champion?
And, like, whack Shelton specifically, because Lashley is not taking that pin. Yeah. Stokely could whack Shelton with something, and then that's how they get the out.
Yeah, Shelton will also kick out at 3. He'll kick out right at 3. But the ref will count the pin, but he'll kick out. And that's what I see happening. Because he kind of did that in the C2, if you notice. Because he didn't. The only guy he lost like clean to, like no nonsense, was like Okada. Right? But like all the other guys he lost to was like a roll up, and then he kicks out right at 3 in every C2 match.
Actually, can I give my one confession that I didn't get a chance to make earlier?
Yeah.
I have largely enjoyed Okada's AEW run.
It's fine. My problem with Okada in AEW is that he's a background character. He's a comedy character.
I don't like the way he's presented either, and I think have they presented him as an actual top tier guy from the beginning, we would be in a much better spot.
Yeah, the Continental title.
For whatever reason, like this feud with Swerve, why do they have no time? Like they get no live mic time, no vignettes, nothing.
No
why
is
Don Callis not cutting promos for him? I just have so many questions about why they seemingly don't give a fuck about putting this program over and presenting it well.
Okay, so I asked yesterday, right? Because a couple of our friends went to the show, right? So on the TV, Excalibur said Tanahashi competed at the G1, one of the gruelest tournaments, and he did not follow up that by saying, however, the G1 was won by one of our roster members of the Don Callis family, Takeshita, and you'll see him tomorrow live on Collision. Nothing. I'm going to spoil it for you. So tomorrow, Takeshita's at the show. Was at the show last night.
I know what the match is, yeah.
Yeah, it was Takeshita versus Ishii. No promo. No gloating. Apparently no trophy. I'm sure they'll fix it in post. They'll have like Don Callis. They'll record something with Don Callis, whatever. My guy.
If they do, then that's fine. But
yeah, but like, what usually happens when a Don Callis guy wins? Don Callis gets the ring.
Yeah.
Don Callis gets 20 minutes. Don Callis reveals a new painting. He just did that promo like a week or two ago, where they had the painting of Fletcher. They had the 3 belts of Okada.
And it was a really good segment.
Yeah, they could do this with it. He should be gloating. Don Callis is your best heel.
I agree.
And then
it just doesn't make sense sometimes with the way they present some of these talents.
Yeah, and you have two bookers sabotaging Takeshita at one time. It's so fucking. It's stupid.
AEW is not like full-blown sabotaging him. They're just doing a poor job presenting him. I think New Japan might actively be trying to sabotage him, but whatever. They're poorly booking him.
New Japan is...
To go back to the world title angle, it made me want to pull my hair out because MJF is like, oh, you have to give me the match and I don't have to execute my contract, which, oh my god, don't get me started on that. But
they want to not say
that doesn't make any sense, because why in kayfabe, why can't Tony Khan be like, well, you already said you're using the contract, and we've made the match because you said you would execute your contract. So why is he allowed to get that back? That doesn't make, like, this match is because he said, I'm using my contract to get the match at Forbidden Door. What are we doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing, clown shoes, because like that doesn't make any sense. Yep. Like they could do the same gimmicks, right? You could win by DQ, you can win by countout, but I'm not giving you this match unless like you cash in your contract, whatever match you want. But they did the thing where they're going to set Mark Briscoe on fire. They had Mark Briscoe
murder a man on national television.
They had Mark Briscoe get his ass kicked off screen, and then they had Hangman run back and beat up Gates of Agony and Ricochet. Like that pissed me off too. Like, why is it that Hangman is beating up these guys who are you're trying to build up as a trio to mean a little bit of something? Why are they getting beat up by Hangman? Why isn't it MJF getting beat up? And it's like, because he has to he has to stay protected. He has to stay strong. And then like the news,
it drives me up the fucking wall, dude.
And then
it does.
Actually,
sorry, can I tie this back to what we were talking about earlier? Yeah. Remember when we were talking about Masaki Mochizuki and how he's always willing to help people, and how in Dragon Gate everyone's bought in. They're trying to make the next generation better. They're all working together towards the same goal. And in AEW, you have guys like Hangman and Will Ospreay and Swerve and Mox who are willing to work towards the same goal. But then you also have to deal with your MJFs or your Hurt Syndicates or your Adam Copelands who just don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves and just produce the worst fucking wrestling because of it. And it's so frustrating to see. Especially when people like Ospreay and Hangman, because they're so giving, people like MJF are able to take advantage of them effectively.
Because, like, when I look at it, right, a guy, like, he doesn't work there anymore, apparently, but Court Bauer was able to inspire people to do jobs, clean jobs. Whether it's Kojima, LA Park, Austin Aries, Loki.
Jacob Fatu Whisperer.
Jacob Fatu.
Was Kojima a guy who had problem doing jobs? I did not
in America.
know this.
Well, in MLW, CMLL, he doesn't lose. He didn't lose for like.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, he sees what the money is.
I don't think Kojima is a guy who is like, that doesn't work for me, brother. But in terms of like thinking MLW is beneath him, and it is, of course, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Because, like, I see it, like, because you have, like, the New Japan people, like, come in, like, oh, we actually want this guy to be used this way. CMLL is there. They get CMLL guys to do jobs. Like, Mystico lost on an MLW show. Dorado lost. Templario lost.
Wait, what? Mystico didn't win the Opera Cup?
He did not. So, like, you have this,
Did he take a clean pin?
I don't know if he took a clean pin, but I know he did.
Or did they do a fuck finish?
Probably a fuck finish.
Because I think they usually do fuck finishes with Mystico.
That's why when Bandito beat Mystico in Arena, Mexico, even in a tag match, that was crazy.
Yeah. It was a big deal. Yeah.
When I think about this, like, some guys can convince people to lose, right? Tony Khan convinced Rusev to put over Sammy Guevara like 3 times.
You know what's so frustrating about that to me, Doc, is he has people who he doesn't have to worry about that with. He has Hangman, he has Will Ospreay, he has Swerve, he has Kenny Omega, he has John Moxley, or whatever. All those people. Guess what? If you just focused on those guys and you told MJF to get fucked, you wouldn't have to deal with any of this. But instead, you push MJF as the top guy of the fucking company. So now we have to deal with it.
I don't get why MJF has that power. I don't know why he has that stroke.
Neither.
He's never done anything. It's so stupid. At least
why is he the most powerful guy in the company? Why does he always get the best TV slots? Why does he get to dictate the story. What I just.
I kind of said this in another discussion, but I do think maybe Hurt Syndicate didn't want to deal with his shit anymore, and that's why they kicked him out. You know, it doesn't make sense.
I think there's two sides to that story, and they're both bad.
Yeah.
I think
what an utter waste of time that entire program was.
2
Like
months.
they spent like 6 weeks doing like 10 to 15 minute segments of like thumbs up or thumbs down. And then he joins, and it's like, okay, are we doing an MJF Lashley match? Nah, and then he just gets kicked out, and we're never getting a match out of that.
Yeah, you know, like, I saw when MJF lost at Revolution, I saw it live, right? I still didn't trust it. I still think it was honey dicking. Because, like, that's him laying it, okay, I'm going to lose it this time, but next time I'm going to win, right? I saw that, like...
Oh, I'm terrified he's feuding with Hangman again after he lost clean.
Yeah, oh no, he is 100% going to All Out with the feud, and we're just going to have to deal with it.
Honestly, I think he loses here and he keeps the contract and just... They're going to terrorize us with that contract. Remember that period, like 3 years ago, where he sat like in the bleachers, in the stands, with his giant
that fucking
poker chip?
sucked. It was so bad.
And they had like the spotlight on him. I think they're gonna do that again. Like, cause
and that is what AEW needs to be an alternative, is more cash-in teases.
From the worst main event wrestler you have that no one likes,
like,
and he still has the most power somehow.
I still don't get why he has all this power. Like, he when he resigned, he had no negotiating power. WWE put out like there was no interest in signing him. People were trying to make it like, no, they said that because they lost to AEW, there he got outbid. But like, no, there would have been stories about like so and so in WWE likes his work, so they're gonna try to like bring him in. There was stories about that with Daniel Garcia during the signing period. There was nothing like that about MJF. And I think he did rub a lot of people the wrong way who left that company and went back to WWE.
Yeah.
Guys like William Regal. A guy like CM Punk.
Fuck William Regal.
Oh, that carny.
William Regal, whose whole job was to scout by going to PWG. That's how you scout.
Yeah.
Like, so he would sit there, and like stand behind their little curtain gorilla, whatever, and just like poke his head out, say, oh, okay, and then walk out and then smoke cigarettes outside. That's what he would do. That was his form of of scouting.
I love how people have convinced themselves William Regal is like this legend and all-time great worker.
Oh, yeah,
and
I fucking hate that.
look at this guy's cage match. Any match he has over an 8 is like a Royal Rumble or something.
Or like there's one with Shinya Hashimoto.
I want to tell the people this.
Yeah, like, no shit, it's Shinya Hashimoto.
Yeah. I want to tell the people this because HeavenlyHalberd, the reason I reached out to him, the reason I started speaking to him is because he started this conversation in the Discord about let's bury beloved fake legends. And
oh, yeah.
I love that for you, man, because like I actually sat down and I said, you know what? The Undertaker, everybody talks like this about him, but like his wrestling sucked, his promos sucked, his character sucked. And I fucking hated how cheesy he was. Kane was cooler than The Undertaker. I know, like, saying that now, they're both pieces of shit, they're both MAGA, but like when I was a kid, I preferred the Big Red Machine to The Undertaker because he would do cool shit. He would sell. When he went bald, he cut these cool promos and he set himself on fire. So like, but Undertaker, he's so lame. He's so lame. And then when he retired from wrestling, he starts a podcast where he doesn't say anything. There's nothing interesting. He tries to interview people that are more interesting about him. But when it's somebody like Kama Mustafa or like freaking Rikishi, it's just like old men talking about old things and complaining about the new generation. And it's just like, what have you done, Undertaker? What did you really do? Did you sell out those WrestleManias, or were those WrestleManias like already going to be sellouts? respect to you for that one. I like WrestleMania 26 because I went there live. It was a better match to me than WrestleMania 25 because they did less bullshit. But just like one of the worst, one of the absolute worst. Give me Taka Michinoku over The Undertaker any day.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh my god, I despise the Attitude Era with every fiber of my being. And if you sat me down,
I don't think The Rock's a good worker. I think Stone Cold was quite good, so I'll say he's good. I think Bret Hart was good, and I think Mick Foley was maybe the best. But outside of them, Triple H fucking sucked.
Mick Foley is my favorite wrestler. I'm gonna say this about Bret Hart. When I was a kid, he fucking bored me. And you know what I don't like about Bret Hart? He complains about chops, right? And I go back and I watch Bret Hart matches, and he is so baby 2-ply soft. Nothing he does, when he throws a punch, when he throws a kick, when he does like whatever, there's no impact to anything. I think the only thing he has that impact on is that suplex and the punches. Is that snap suplex because he does a lot of stomping and falling. But when I watch Bret Hart, everything is so smooth and so nice, but also so soft. That's my criticism. Give me Owen Hart all day, stiffing people, breaking noses.
I was just about to say I always preferred Owen because he's like the more athletic, like dynamic worker of the two.
When he did the Irish whip and did the spinning wheel kick, and he would like hook the guy's face with the back of his heel. Oh, I love that. And that's why I kicked his leg out of his leg, and like, man, that like being able to say like I respect the work Bret Hart does. I respect that he's the excellence of execution because everything he did looked nice, but it all looked soft. SAWFT soft. Also, fuck Enzo Amore. But big ups to Big Bill. I like Big Bill. I had
it's
to
already
get
11:40. Jesus,
Yeah.
man, we've been talking for so long.
Thank you guys so much for this extra bit.
I meant to shower like before the podcast, so I need a shower now at like midnight.
All right, I'm gonna do like quick predictions right now. I'm gonna say MJF wins. God, oh my God, I'm gonna say the winner of the cage match is gonna be Team Death Riders because that's the only way that makes sense narratively. The women's champion is gonna be Athena, hopefully. The TBS champion is gonna be, of course, Mercedes. And the tag team championships, I don't give a fuck. Hurt Syndicate, whatever. And Edge and Christian are going to beat the Patriarchy, unless Jack Perry shows up and screws them over, or does a fuck finish. Those are my predictions for. This is going to be labeled the Forbidden Door preview, and also. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to beat Nigel McGuinness, but I believe you, Nigel. I believe in you.
You don't think Nigel's going to the Tokyo Dome?
I believe in you, Nigel. I think that you should go into business for yourself. I think this should be a real-life jiu-jitsu match.
Do it.
Shoot on Zach. Hit him with a shoot headbutt.
Hit him with that headbutt. Put him in that armbar you do. Hit him with that the wacky lariat. Do all of that, but do it at the hardest hit you can hit and knock him out, make him tap out, choke him out, let him go to sleep. The referee will have no choice but to end the match. And then you, Nigel, at 49, can be the world champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Do it. Do it for all of us.
God, you want to get me excited about New Japan again?
God save
I think the only thing I can predict is me walking out to go to the store during a Swerve Okada match because I do not give a shit about Okada. So
yeah,
be a run.
It's your right to hate Okada. He's lazy. He doesn't give a shit.
Hey man, is he lazy? Absolutely, but he's never missed on pay-per-view. Swerve's really good. I didn't think the Speedball match was anything special, and that match fucking rocked. So I'm not gonna count him out.
They did just release.
Yeah, that was a. That's to say that was a good match, even though I hate both parties involved too.
Yeah.
So
I have told why I hate.
He's just weird. He's just.
You and Doc both hate him, huh?
He's just weird. I don't know if that's. I don't know if it's just because he's from Quebec. He's just weird.
He touched me with his bare foot.
I don't know.
He touched me with his bare foot after I saw him walk barefoot in the restroom of Reseda.
Revoke his.
Okay.
Revoke his visa again. Good lord, get him out of here.
You've changed my opinion on Speedball with that story.
Yeah, so I went to a PWG.
Stop trying to spread propaganda.
It's not propaganda. It's the truth. I watched PWG. I went there. I made the mistake of going to the urinal. Yeah, you just go whatever. So usually we take a piss in the back because that's what you do in PWG if you're a real one. But I went to the urinal just to like wash my hands because I got a greasy hot dog. And then like I see Speedball in there walking barefoot. Maybe he has tape on his feet, but he was just walking back to like their backstage area from the locker room, barefoot.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, you hear brass monkey. I'm clapping, and then he does his foot fives, right? And he touches my hand, and that was it.
You know where that's been.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's washed that foot or not.
I don't know. It's just
all right. Even more reason to hate.
I'm gonna head off now because I want to make sure I shower before it gets too late, and I need to eat dinner and all that stuff.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys for staying on for so long. This has been a bonus episode. This has been my Forbidden Door preview, and we had to air our grievances. Like it's what's that one?
Festivus.
Like Festivus. This is Forbidden Door Festivus, and thank you guys so much. Again, really, guys, thank you.
Thank you for having me on, Doc. Take care.
Now danger